know, you really ought to practice some more, but I really want to make something cool. You know, if you try to start something cool and your skills aren't quite up to snuff, you're going to be really frustrated. Please. Not going to work on me, buddy. Nice try. But you really got to get in that practice. Would you rather be making those 100 nails? Well, I don't know. Nails might not be so bad. Though I would have to get a nail header or make one. But no, I guess more practice will be okay. Welcome back to DarkenEmber Forge. Got my forge itself roaring away in the background there. We're heating up that chunk of iron. I'm going to do a little bit more taper practice, because though from taper practice day 1 to taper practice day 2 there was a lot of improvement, it's still not where I want it to be. I want to be pretty precise when it comes to making tools, so practice day 3. Thanks for sticking with me. See you at the anvil. On the plus side, boy, is my forge roaring away nicely. I switched that end. Really lean there, aren't we? Alright. Poor squished end. I guess it's just the atmosphere today. The settings on my regulator, same as they were yesterday. Yesterday was sputtering and fighting and dying out. Today, the dragon's breath is something fierce. Hell, I had to take a look at that. The biggest issue with this so far is having smushed that end. It's not sitting very straight. Mostly looking good. Mostly, I say. This one, not so much. There's kind of a weird bubble right at the base there. Anywho, I feel like I could probably keep going, but I think I'll get a little more heat, if for no other reason, to show you how it's looking. Off-gassing, I wonder. Even though that center is still cool in comparison, the whole thing is spitting out so much heat. I'm half afraid of burning my beard off again. Look at that. Hey, that's really kicking out. More yellowish, kind of a fire kind of color. I need to go double check and see if that means I have too much gas going in, or too little air, or too much air. I do not remember. Good Lord, it's blasting. Alright, back to the hammer. That was borderline white heat in there. I've never seen it come up to a temperature that I thought I could do any kind of forge welding on. But, boy, today, not 100% sure on that. I think it might. Once again. Once again, I've kind of pushed it off center, is what I meant to say earlier. Yeah. Not too bad from that angle. A little off kilter from that angle. All in all, not as bad as it could be. There's some... If I cleaned up that weird thing, I wonder if I set it down accidentally? Yeah. Oh, damn. Okay. Bright orange in the tip, light orange on the end. So with that, how are we looking? It's leaned a little bit that way, fairly straight that way. Yeah, it's definitely not centered as well as it would like, though the length of it is about as close to perfect as a person can reasonably expect. I'm not 100% sure if that little scratch there is a bit of scale that got pounded in or a cold shut. Either way, I'm not a fan of it. Yeah. Could be better, but I still feel like that's going up from yesterday. Alright, chop it off, do another one. Boy, that one's all over the place. Yeah, I think I need another heat to clean that up a little. Of course, now the wind has changed. You can hear my forge sputtering away in the background, I suspect. Yeah, that one's not good. That one's okay-ish. Yeah. This one side has more of a curve to it than a straight edge, which I think is what's throwing it off a bit. Other than that, I was able to kind of brute force it back into an approximation of where I want it to be. Yeah, it is pretty well centered. Alright, a little more heat, we'll octagon it. Just about to say I'm going slow and deliberate before I crack the anvil. Smack the anvil. Hit the anvil. Whoop, again, knock that way off center by futzing with it too much, probably. From that angle looks good. That angle's tilted. Whoop. too bad once I take that curve in the bar out of it. I'm always uncertain how much of the rounding process you want to do low at a planishing heat and how much should be a little higher. I think that light orange that I had before worked really well. Gonna try and get it there again. Kind of a dull red through most of that. So it shouldn't be moving too fast. Whoop. But it's still enough to deform if a hammer blow comes in sloppy. Tappa, learning to tap dance. That was a Simpson reference for you youngsters out there. I could honestly probably just futz with that for hours. Other than the tip beanle. That's a little better. Alright, it's a little leaned on that one, and a lot leaned on that side. But it's only a little off from straight from the top angle. Apparently being plugged in isn't quite enough, or my plug isn't working, or something's wrong in the cord, the electric hose. Yeah, it keeps battery dying on me. The battery keeps dying on me. Put words in the correct order. This is the second taper. I've made it nice and pointy. I spent a lot of time prodding at it, working on trying to get it as pretty as possible, because that's what I do. It's a little bit off kilter. It was a bit more off kilter, but I was able to brute force it slightly closer to center. Not all the way, but slightly. So, cut her off and we'll start on 3. Assuming my camera works, I don't have to figure out some way to get the power to it. A little wobbly, fairly straight, pretty straight but bulged at the base. A little wobbly again. Okay, what's happening? This side had the hammer at the wrong angle, and the other two, I think, this side and that far side had the bar at the wrong angle. It looks like they're a little bit oblong. Oblong? Sure. Shapes can be verbs, right? Keep using oblong when it'd be more rhomboidal, wouldn't it? Ah, well. Weird, like this corner comes farther down than the other ones. It like swoops down. Wild. And all of my adjusting knocked it off center from where it was. Though part of that might be the fact that the point is a little more pointy now. So rather than looking at that whole mess, which was mostly due to me cutting it off at a slight angle, I'm just looking at the point. Anyway, probably futz messing with that more than I should. Then even more. Alright, octagonal. Every time I go octagonal, I twist the end off from center, even if it's only moderately centered. Interesting. Why? Is it just harder to keep the angles right when you're going off that diagonal? Okay, that's fairly centered. But from this angle, it looks like it's leaned off. Let's see, that would be camera left. That looks fairly centered. Huh. So, that, whoa, come on, hands. See if I can brute force it a little bit. Nope, still turned. Or turned? Twisted. That little point over. And we're a little short. I think that is the first time I have done one of these. Well, I've done one that was almost exact, but most of the rest have been excessively long. So, for a short one, hey! Alright. Third taper on the third day. 333, all shorts. And I feel like I get better luck pounding into it. I do coming diagonally, or coming straight down towards the anvil and the ground. Yeah. These lumps confuse me. It's like I'm accidentally upsetting it. That's probably because I'm swinging into it and I'm pushing it towards it. Aha, okay. That may have been a cause of a lot of my problems. Yeah, because the steel is flowing away from the force of the impact, which is coming in this way. Okay. So I really do need to figure out how to move it that way. A little late in the game to be learning that little lesson. Tip got way too skinny for this point. This one swoops camera left. This one swoops camera right. This one just wiggles. And this one's mostly straight, but it does dish in. Okay, this poor thing. Yeah, that tip is definitely not surviving the octagon stage. There it goes. Not once, but twice. You know, other than being kind of oblong now, the tip is fairly well centered. See if I can't break it off again. This definitely suffered from sudden revelation halfway through, and it's way too short. But I have a better idea for the next one. Oh, that point is way too sharp again. That one's going to be busting off too. Okay, on the other hand, how are we looking? We're way too short. I can tell that already. It's still bulged slightly. That diagonal's not too bad, other than swooping down. That one's okay too. And this one kind of swoops up where it bulges. I don't know. I don't know if that actually helped or not. It's problematic because you need to do it near the edge, but then it just like takes the tip over the radius there and really thins the damn thing out. Here I feel almost like I'm trying to paint the dang thing rather than hammer on it. I don't think I've seen any other smith do it quite like that, which tells me it's probably not right. So I'm missing something fundamental in that idea. Or maybe you just don't worry about upsetting it. You draw it out enough that you can upset it. Maybe? I don't know. I'm going to give that a little bit more heat before rounding her off. Once again, we're going to rather light red here, or a dark red, I guess. Light red would be closer to an orange heat, wouldn't it? That's pretty well centered from that angle. The tip of it curves. Whoop, now the tip curves the other way. Anyway, that's a never-ending battle. Fairly centered, fairly centered. A bit short, but not as much as the last two. Looking pretty good head on. Alright. I think, other than that tip, I really need to figure out what to do with that. But I think that was a step up. Clearly, can you see the end? It looks like almost not at all, perhaps. twisting the whole bar now. Okay, we still got a bulge. Giggity. More heat. Okay, I'm thinking that was a bad idea. Try to move from octagon to round before you even have the square finished away properly. Yeah, not a great idea. Need more heat to force that into shape. Let's try anyway. Okay, how'd this comedy of errors turn out? Reasonably centered that way. Leaning camera right that way. Centered-ish, still leaning camera right. Okay. Really can't brute force it, at the very least not at such a low heat. I swear it doesn't stop me anyway. It looks pretty well centered from the end. And it is just slightly short of where I would like it. Well, no, the kind of tippy tip is reaching there. Yeah, I'd say that's almost exactly where it needs to be. Alright, success. For such a doing everything wrong, that kind of worked out right. Again, it's swollen up there. That diagonal looks okay. That one's not bad. And that one sort of swoops off camera left. Looking end on, we're relatively centered. Once more, they kind of spiral down. Start with a spirally square and end up with a spirally octagon. Square, straight, fairly straight. Though the ends of it leave a little to be desired, they kind of wobble. Pretty well centered though. And pretty well to length. Even going from the far end, that's about a little over an eighth off, like 3/16. That's not bad. one looks nice. That has a bit of a wave there. Better. A little better yet. How about you? Oh boy, that's waving the opposite way. Anyway, whew. Fairly straight. Whoop. Fairly misshapen. Okay. Still leaned a little off to the camera left here, but not too bad. If I take out that lump, yeah, not really. I feel like it's just a matter of doing it a few hundred more times. Anyway, to Octagon. Those are the straightest octagon bits I've done so far. They're not as even as I would like. They're like, this one's a little fatter, or this one's a little thinner than that one. And that one's a little thinner than all of the rest so far. But as far as not just twisting it all over the dang place, gonna have to go like pentuple speed for all of these planishing bits. Yeah, we're leaning a little camera right, fairly centered. Yeah, definitely camera right there. Aha, I broke the end. Yep. This is why you don't try to move too much material at a planishing heat. He says, still trying to move material at a planishing heat. Mom always said our family was too stubborn for its own good, as though it was written in our DNA. We had nothing we could do about it. She wore this as sort of a badge of pride, I guess you could say. I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and anyone who tries to tell me different can shove off. It does have its good sides. It really leads to some tenacity. But at the other hand, well, as you can see by watching the fact that I keep trying to force these pieces into shape, even as they're too cold to move very well, it doesn't stop me from trying anyway. This idea that if I try hard enough, I can force it to bend to my will, essentially. I'll heat this metal up with nothing but pure stubbornness. But it doesn't work like that, so it tends to waste a lot of energy. Good sides, bad sides. I'm not 100% sure if it really is a trait. A lot of people in my family definitely do showcase it, or if it's just learned behavior from watching our stubborn parents. Well, turns out even trying to be a little more careful, still ran the camera out of juice. I apparently need to get an extra battery and a charger that I can just swap them on and off of. Seems like I don't quite get enough to do, well, a full day's work, or even a short morning's work, as was the case today. I feel like I'm doing better, I think. I hope. At the very least, they're becoming a little more uniform. Might not be perfect or even centered or anything like that. But at least it's not like one super short one really long one. They're all kind of hovering in and around where they should be. I think my impatience is pulling me against my rational brain for next time. I think I'm going to try to make some more useful tools, more entertaining tools. I really just want to get working on some stuff and need the gear to do it. But that'll be all for today. Please like if you like, don't if you didn't, and leave me a comment. What do you think about this extended practice period? Think should have done more, maybe a little less, maybe fast forwarded more? Anyway, let me know what you think. And as always, have a wonderful day.